Your medium to large size company is in the market for a new phone system and you've heard of Nextiva, but what's the skinny on them? Are they a good provider? What are they good at? What are the reviews on them? Well, my name is Mike Smith. I'm the president of AeroCom. Let's put our heads together on this. If you'd like to see a demo on Nextiva, or if you'd like to get a quote on Nextiva and you're a medium to large size company, meaning you have 50 to 100 employees or more, reach out and contact me. Send me an email, give me a call. I will help you get a great demo on Nextiva. I will help you get better pricing on Nextiva than if you called them directly. So definitely contact me. And I do all that for free. You don't have to pay me anything to do it. My company gets paid by the service providers, so it's free to you. So send me an email, give me a call, join the thousands of other IT decision makers for medium to large size companies who have used me to help them make a better decision in a fraction of the time. More information on that at the end of the video. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss any of my future weekly videos that I put out. And go check out our website, aerocominc.com, where you can read reviews on providers, write reviews on providers, sort providers by features, so you can look at all the different phone system providers and do all that, watch videos on them, all kinds of cool stuff. Guarantee you've never seen a website like it. Go check it out. What I always like to do is start out with telling you about what is Nextiva a particularly good fit for. So if you're a medium to large size company, where do they fit? And let's touch on that really quick. Why am I focusing on medium to large size companies? Well, that's my area of expertise, so that's what I know best and that's what I can talk about. If you're a small company, I'm not sure if this video is a great fit for you. I'm not sure if my advice is good, but I can tell you for medium to large size companies, this is what I have experience with, and I've been working with Nextiva for many years. I know them pretty well. So what is Nextiva good at? Well, number one, Nextiva might be a great fit if your company is looking for call path based pricing. And when you'd be looking for that is if your company has a lot of users, maybe hundreds or thousands of users that need a phone system extension, but they don't use the phone a whole lot. So not that many people are on the phone simultaneously, but you have hundreds or thousands of users. In that case, call path based pricing is going to behoove you. It's going to get pricing a lot lower for your company. So if that's something your company needs, that's a unique fit for Nextiva. Also a good fit for Nextiva is if your company needs a lot of calling features. Your company needs SMS, they need MMS, they need call center, or they need just some fancier calling features. You may need software integration with Salesforce or HubSpot, something like that. That's another great fit for Nextiva. Also, just as I just mentioned, if your company has a small call center, Nextiva is a great fit. Maybe your company has just a phone system today and you're looking to take it to the next level. You got a lot of people calling in, you kind of have a call center, but maybe you don't have call center software yet, but you're looking to take the next step into call center software and maybe do a little bit more with your call center, like be able to see who's on hold currently, who's in queue, how long they've been in queue, what's the average hold time. Maybe you want to see who's answering the phone, who's not answering the phone, all kinds of good stuff. If you're in that boat, Nextiva might be a great fit. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to rate Nextiva on my 10-point scale that you've probably seen on my other videos where I rate service providers. What I'll do is I will give Nextiva a rating of between 1 and 10 on 10 different items that I think are really important if you're a medium to large size company looking into a new phone system. 1 is the worst, 10 is the best. The first is service quality and reliability. On this one, I give Nextiva an 8 out of 10. They've been doing a pretty good job recently in the last couple years. They had a little bit of a hiccup, I have to be honest with you. About 3 or so years ago, they actually went to a new platform for their cloud phone system, and it was a little bit glitchy. They built their own platform from the ground up, so it's understandable for it to have some glitches, some growing pains. But I think they're in the clear from that. I think they're over the hill. I think things have gotten a lot better. So I give them an 8 out of 10. Not quite 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. We have to have a few more years of solid reliability for that. But I give them an 8 out of 10, which is a pretty good score because they've been doing a good job lately. Also, customer service. I give Nextiva a 9 out of 10. They do a fantastic job in customer service. A couple years ago, again, they had a little bit of a glitch. They had a lot of customer service reps in the Ukraine when the Ukraine war broke out. So that hurt their customer service a little bit for a year or so, but they recovered and now it's great again. So they do a really good job. 9 out of 10 for Nextiva on customer service. 5-year viability. 5 years from now, is Nextiva, as you know it today, going to still be around? Or are they going to sell the company to another company and maybe the name on your bill is going to change, or maybe they grandfather their phone system platform and now it's owned by another company? That's what 5-year viability is. For Nextiva, I give them a 7 out of 10. They're not one of the top 3 cloud phone system vendors out there, so it's hard for me to give them like a 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. But Nextiva is a pretty good company. They're pretty solid. They've invested a lot into their products, so I give them a pretty good score, 7 out of 10 on that one. For features, I also give Nextiva a 7 out of 10. They have a lot of great features. They do SMS, call center software. They do great reporting. I really like their analytics and reporting functionality, but 7 out of 10 because maybe they haven't taken it to the next level. They don't have like AI in their phone system platform. Contact center, yes, but in their phone system platform, they haven't really gone to the next level in terms of really high-end features, but still a pretty good feature set for most medium to large size companies, so a 7 out of 10. For the user experience, I also give Nextiva a 7 out of 10. It's very easy to use, very simple for a user to log in and understand what to click on, how to make a call, how to transfer a call. Again, they came out with a new platform a few years back, and they've really made a lot of changes to it to really improve the user experience. They really listened a lot to customers and made a ton of improvements. So 7 out of 10 on that. They're not Zoom or Teams, so I give them a 7 out of 10 because most companies, most medium to large size companies out there are using Zoom or Teams today for instant messaging and conferencing. So in order to have to use Nextiva for a phone system, it adds another application. So to me, that takes away a little bit of the user friendliness compared to a Teams or Zoom phone, but still 7 out of 10 is a pretty good score for that. It's pretty simple to use, pretty nice experience for users. For the admin experience, I give Nextiva a 6 out of 10. It's fairly easy to use. There's a lot of availability for making changes, but it gets a little bit clunky and a little bit confusing. There's a couple different platforms taking place, so depending on what you click on, you're going to see a little bit different of an interface with Nextiva, so that gets a little bit confusing. Also, you cannot add or remove users, you cannot add users to Nextiva unless you have already purchased licenses with Nextiva. You can't add users on demand in their admin portal just as you please. You actually have to call up Nextiva, order more users, then add them in the admin portal. So you can't just add more users in the admin portal unless you already have user licenses purchased for those users. So all in all, I give them a 6 out of 10. Not terrible, but I think there's some room for improvement there with Nextiva on the admin portal side. For pricing, I give Nextiva an 8 out of 10. Nextiva's pretty competitively priced, especially on contact center. They have some really aggressive pricing on a great contact center product, so very, very aggressively priced. They also have call path based pricing for their phone system users for large companies who have a lot of users but don't use the phone a whole lot. So I mentioned that earlier in the video. I think that's really cool. Not a lot of cloud phone system service providers have that, but Nextiva does, so I think that's great. The only downside to Nextiva is they do have some extra fees. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I don't like the extra fees of, it's like cost recovery fee and E911 fee for every single user, which adds up to about $5 in extra fees per user. Most cloud phone system service providers have that, so it's not a necessarily knock only against Nextiva. Most cloud phone system service providers do have those extra fees, but that's something I don't like about it. That's what keeps them an 8 out of 10 instead of a 9 or a 10. For global availability, I give Nextiva a 6. They do have some global availability, but it's mainly North America and Europe. Outside of that, they don't have a lot of points of presence in international countries. So with that, I give them a 6 out of 10. It's not as global of a provider as you see with some of the other service providers out there. So that's just not their biggest strength. For integration, I give Nextiva a 7 out of 10. Nextiva has a lot of pre-built integrations for medium to large size companies like Salesforce, HubSpot, Zendesk. They do a lot. I don't think their Teams plugin, their Microsoft Teams plugin is very good. I think that they can improve that. So that's why I give them a 7 out of 10. But overall, they have pretty good integrations for a medium to large size company with most of the CRMs that you'd want to integrate with, so they're doing a decent job on that one. And lastly, hardware. I give Nextiva an 8 out of 10 on that. Now, most cloud phone system service providers will all tell you they're not an expert in hardware. That's not their area of expertise. They recommend you go to somebody else to buy the hardware, but if you do want to buy hardware from Nextiva, I give them an 8 out of 10 because they have their own brand of phones that they discount heavily, so you get them for pretty cheap, and these days a lot of companies don't really barely even want hardware. So if they do want hardware, they don't care if it's just some inexpensive desk phones for folks who haven't really adopted the soft phone yet. So they do have that. They also sometimes give away free phones. Sometimes those Nextiva brand phones are given away for free. And they have some pretty good discounting there, and they can sell them to you or rent them to you. So either way, they have a lot of decent options. They don't have a huge selection of phones, so that's why I give them an 8 out of 10, but overall pretty good. So overall, my average score for Nextiva is a 7.3, which is a good score. Now, for your medium to large size company, take that with a grain of salt, because look at some of the things that I graded on there. Maybe you want to remove a couple of those line items. Like maybe your company is not global. Maybe you have hundreds of employees or thousands of employees, but they're all within the continental United States. Well, then the global thing is not something that's a big deal to you. Now they got graded low on that, 6 out of 10. So maybe you remove that whole line item and that makes sense for your business. So look at the different items that I talk about, like features. Maybe features isn't a big deal, or contact center isn't a big deal, or integrations isn't a big deal. So whatever makes sense to your business, take a look at the things that I talked about there and customize this rating for your company. But overall, I like working with Nextiva. I like the people over there. They do a good job. I've got happy customers with them. So 7.3 overall for Nextiva. If you'd like a quote on Nextiva or a demo on Nextiva, or you have more questions on Nextiva, and you work for a medium to large size company, like you have 50 employees or more, maybe hundreds of employees or thousands of employees, that's my expertise. Don't call Nextiva directly. Reach out and contact me. I will do a much better job of matching you up with a great salesperson to work with over there. I will oversee the quoting process to make sure you get way better pricing than you normally would on Nextiva. And I will also make sure that if you want to, I will show you other competitors that you can match up side by side with Nextiva. I'm a broker for all the major cloud phone system vendors out there, and I've been doing this for over 20 years. So I know the industry inside and out, and I know which providers to avoid and which providers are doing a really good job. I really emphasize service providers who have great service quality and great customer service. That's who I recommend to my customers. So send me an email, give me a call if you'd like more information on Nextiva or their competition, and join the thousands of other IT professionals for medium to large size companies who have used me over the years to help their company make a lot better decision in a fraction of the time. And the nice thing is, on top of all that, I don't charge your company anything to use my service. The service providers pay me my broker fee, so it's free to you. So there's no reason to at least not reach out or at least reach out and contact me and send me an email, give me a call, see what I have to say. All right, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss any of my future videos that I put out. I put them out every single week. Leave me a comment down below. I try to answer every single comment. And go check out our website, AeroCominc.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.